If you haven't heard the news, Bethesda is calling the next Fallout 76 update the biggest update ever, and yeah, they've said that before, but this time they might actually be right. The new update, Burning Springs, is massive, and there's already a ton of confusion about it. So what's really coming? Today, I'm breaking down everything you need to know about the new Burning Springs update. So when does this all drop? Well, pretty soon. December 17th, a nice little Christmas present from Bethesda, but the Burning Springs update officially hits all of the main servers December 17th, 2025, and along with it, we're also getting Season 23, so keep an eye on your dailies while you're exploring the new content. And something else that's dropping the same exact day, of course, is going to be the second season of the Fallout TV show, and Bethesda is tying that directly into the game. Walton Goggins' character, the Ghoul, is being added to Fallout 76 as part of the update. Now, while this isn't the first celebrity cameo, shout out to Jason Mewes, which is also a Ghoul in the game, but it's definitely the biggest. Walter Goggins coming to Fallout 76 is going to be pretty huge, and will be helping the Ghoul on his journey through a brand new bounty system, which I'll cover in a minute. And if you're not sure about the Ghoul being added to 76, don't worry, time-wise, it all makes sense. He was alive during this era, he's already confirmed to have spent time in Ohio as a bounty hunter, and Bethesda's been wanting to expand into Ohio for a little bit, so this is their chance to tie everything together with their massively successful show. Before I dive deeper into exactly what's coming into the update, just a quick shout out to NukaKnights for their breakdown of this update. Check the description for a link to their whole entire Burning Springs article. Most of this content is on there, so if you want to go ahead and read everything at your own pace, go ahead, check the description, shout out to NukaKnights, and moving on to exactly what's coming in this giant update. So what exactly is being added in this new biggest update? Well, the list is pretty long, so I won't cover it all. Again, check the description for that NukaKnights link, but I'll touch over what I think every single important addition is. So first up, and most importantly, we're getting a pretty large map increase. We're finally moving into Ohio, which is insane. The first time we've ever been there in the franchise, and like I said, it's a pretty large map increase. We're getting a total of 25 new fast travel locations on a previously unused section of the map, and one new player kind of hub like the Nuka World on Tour that will be inside of the Ohio region. But unfortunately, it does seem like Ohio didn't end up as well as Virginia in terms of damage, because the whole area is pretty much a New Vegas style desert, so that's going to be amazing to explore. Now obviously, again, I haven't gotten too much time to actually go into Ohio myself and run around the wasteland, but all of the footage on the PTS looks pretty amazing. It looks great. I think they did a great job filling up this new area, making it not feel so barren, and then also I think they're doing a great job with fleshing out some of the lore. I think it looks amazing. But obviously a new area needs to come with new enemies. There are some new human enemies and some non-human enemies as well. As of right now, for creatures, we know we have the new Armored Deathclaw, which is going to be pretty insane. We have some new Deathclaw variants as well. During one of the new events, we're going to actually fight off one of these new Deathclaw variants, which is just a slightly larger Deathclaw, but still new Deathclaw variants. We haven't seen that since Fallout New Vegas. And then obviously we get some new wildlife like the Radhog, which has been teased for like 2 years, but now finally we could hunt these bad boys down for ourselves. And like I said, there are some new humans human enemies, being added in this new update, along with some new factions. I'll cover the enemy factions as of right now because that's all that we kind of know. But in terms of new enemy factions, we have the Rust Raiders, which are under control of the Rust Lord, which I will get into a little bit later. But these are the raiders and ex-cultists who came to Ohio and started to follow the new big bad of the update, the Rust Lord. So in terms of new factions, that's kind of all that we have right now, just kind of the Rust Raiders, and they are kind of just like the generic bad guys of the update. Now, like I did mention, there will also be a new multiple events, not just one like with the Skyline Valley update, but we'll actually have multiple new events that will appear all over the new Ohio region of the map, and also will appear more frequently than the Skyline Valley event, which is just kind of like broken and they kind of gave up on. But as of right now, we only know of 2 new events. Both of them seem to be like a defend type quest that will introduce the player to all the new mechanics, like the new death claws and everything like that come with the Ohio region. Also, the burning enemies you'll be able to see in there. That we don't have too much information on that, but it's just kind of like a status effect thing. Enemies could be like burning now, so like a burning death claw or something like that. Again, that will go more into the actual lore of what happened to Ohio and why everything's red. So we don't have too much information on that. But as of now, these 2 events that we know are going to be sinkhole solutions and gearing up. If you wanted to have a full description of exactly what these events are, go ahead and check the description for the NukaKnights breakdown of these events. But again, they're pretty much just defend quests that introduce the player to like all of the mechanics that you'll see throughout the whole entire Ohio region. Nothing too crazy to be added with these 2 events. Again, they're kind of basic. More events will come, though, and I believe at launch we will probably have 3 events, and I think one of these events won't be seen on the PTS, and it'll just be launched into the actual game. But as of right now, we know about the 2, Sinkhole Solutions and Gearing Up. Quickly, before we get into the final important new addition that I quickly wanted to touch on this list, I also wanted to mention that since we have a new area, a new local legend will be added into the game, into the portion of the Ohio map, and everything like that. So if you are a fishing fiend, Bethesda got you covered with this update. Once the local legend is found and data mined, I will make a video on it and I will teach you guys, or I will go over the best way to actually catch the local legend. I'm sure it's going to be exactly the same as all of the other local legends. But if you are excited to fish in Ohio, there will be new exclusive fish to the region along with a local legend. So just keep that in mind. And also, I'm sure a new axolotl will be getting added after they cycle through the full year of the axolotls that they just added to the game. Now, finally, there are a bunch of new weapons and legendary effects that will be added, including a few twists on some classic Fallout 76 weaponry. But most importantly, and I think that this is just crazy because of the tie-in to the TV show, but the Ghoul's hand cannon will be added, which is a great sign for all pistol users, because so far on the PTS, this thing is outputting an insane amount of damage. It is a hand cannon. It's just basically a magnum. It has 6 shots. Except they do insane amounts of damage. Like on the PTS, you could get it up to like 1,000 damage a shot, like base level 50 and everything like that. So, and that's not even like with a full decked out pistol build or stealth or anything like that. So that's going to be pretty insane. However, I am kind of worried to see how much they are pushing the TV show into Fallout 76. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. But like I said, this isn't everything that's being added to the game. We still have so much more, including a new quest/contract type, which we'll talk about in a second, and of course a brand new story. And from what I've heard, it's going to be a real main quest line, around 20 to 25 hours of questing, which is pretty nice for a free update. But what do we know about the story so far? Now, in terms of the story, I won't spoil too much, but it seems like we're getting a small nod back to the original Fallouts. So if you don't want to hear anything about the story of this update and the new area, go ahead and skip this section now, and the rest of the video should be safe. It's not really talking about really anything too important to the story. But if you're still here, like I said earlier, this whole entire story seems a bit like the original Fallouts because we're getting a new super intelligent super mutant that seems to be the new main enemy of this update. He's in charge of the Rust Raiders, which, like I mentioned, are the hostile human enemies of this new area. Now, we have no idea what he really wants, or even if we're going to end up fighting him, or if he's going to be the actual main enemy of this whole entire DLC. It could just be like, we think that he's going to be the main enemy because of what we've seen. He seems pretty vicious and conquerous, but there could be an even worse big bad out there. But all that we know right now, there's another super intelligent super mutant, and he's causing chaos all across Ohio, which I mean, out of all places, I guess Ohio kind of is the best place to be taken over by super mutants just because it's Ohio. But on top of stopping the Rust Lord's campaign of conquering, you'll also be tasked with discovering what exactly happened to Ohio, why does it look like Mars a lifeless red planet, and what secrets are being held in this extremely weird state. And then the last, big addition to this whole entire update is going to be the bounty system, and I wanted to quickly break down the newly added bounty system as well, just because I feel like this is where people got most confused. Now, these are not expeditions or the only missions being added with this update. You will, however, have to complete some bounty quests to progress through this update's main storyline before you prove yourself to the Rust Lord, or at least that's what we think is going to happen. Again, we don't really necessarily have the best idea of how the story progression is going to go after the first couple of missions that a lot of the other Fallout YouTubers were able to play at this recent Bethesda interaction event that went down a couple of days ago. But that's kind of what we think. Eventually, at one point, you have to do a bunch of bounties to go ahead and meet the Rust Lord and everything like that. So the bounties will be somewhat important to the story, but just only at the beginning or only at one part of it, at least. You will not have to really worry about them after that. But they will still be important for you to do afterwards outside of the story. It's kind of just like another thing to do. Now, what exactly are the new bounty missions? Well, you get them from the Ghoul, again, Walton Goggins, as kind of a contract like the caravans, but hopefully not as dull and life-draining. You'll have to hunt down a mini-boss enemy that will have a mutation. Again, random mutation, random enemy, everything like that. We don't know if it's just going to be like a certain 10 bounties that are just recycled, or if there's going to be an infinite amount of bounties that are rare and will have a bunch of different mutations for every single time you encounter them, but we really have no idea what these rewards are going to be, besides obviously some of the new weapons or anything like that, but obviously they would be similar to daily ops, but much faster. So this isn't an expedition, this is more so of like a daily op type of thing, but you go into the actual wasteland, you hunt down a bounty, and then you kill it, return to the Ghoul, and then turn in your contract, and boom, you are granted probably some caps, some rewards, some chems, and then obviously a chance at the new legendary effects and weapons as rewards, but we don't really know what else. I'm going to assume also some cosmetics, mainly focusing around the Fallout TV show and the Ghoul, but we won't know until the update is actually out. Again, everything on the PTS right now is subject to change, so I don't want to say that this will definitely be a reward or this will definitely be a reward or anything like that, because it can change at a instant, so just keep that in mind. And then again, finally, I haven't been able to play any of this new content, but from everything I'm seeing, this is exactly what we wanted Atlantic City to be. Not another bullshit expedition, but rather real content with an original story that doesn't destroy any previously established lore. And again, this just looks really fun. All of the new weapons look great, all of the new enemies look great, the new area looks amazing. If you're skeptical, just give it a try on December 17th. Personally, I think everyone will enjoy it. It seems like it's getting a lot of love from Fallout New Vegas. So if you're a Fallout New Vegas fan, this may be a grasp to grab you back to the wasteland of Fallout 76, so just keep that in mind. Well, there we have it, ladies and gents of the wasteland. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it useful. I also hope that I was able to clear up any confusion with this new update. If I didn't, let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions, and I'll obviously try my best to answer them with what information we know. But with this new update, we will be going to Ohio along with the Ghoul, Walton Goggins, and this update will feature a whole new storyline along with a new quest type of thing called bounties, and obviously I'll keep you all updated once I get more info, or we all get more info on this new content. But as always, I appreciate you motherfuckers for watching this motherfucking video, and I will see you out there in the wasteland.